clear, especially regarding the gazetted bill by the Speaker of Parliament today. We are getting the details of this gazetted bill. Is that Emerson Mnangagwa does not want retired General Chiwenga to actually take over from him. From the look of things, that is what he is trying to achieve through the constitution. He is trying to shut out retired General Chiwenga. I'll be reading the section especially that deals with the presidency, how the president is elected, and also how this same president, if a president dies, then how matters should be handled. It complicates the whole scenario, as you will see. It's more confusion. The way this bill has been written, it is absolutely creating more actually confusion than anything else. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Pani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So I'm reading the proposed amendment on section 92 of the constitution. So it will be like this. What Mnangagwa actually is envisaging section 92 to be like. Section 92.1 says the president must be elected by the members of parliament in a joint sitting of the Senate and the National Assembly. That is also problematic. It will mean that in order for you to be elected as a president, you have to be in good books with the members of parliament of your own political party. So that is, which means the highest bidder within ZANU-PF wants to contest the presidency has to have enough money to actually buy these members of parliament to vote for him. So apart from that, Emerson Mnangagwa decided to take so this section on its own is the first reason. The way it has been crafted, it is meant to actually push retired General Chiwenga out of any possibilities of taking over from Emerson Mnangagwa. It makes it difficult for him. There are many actually clauses as I would be reading. Then section 2 says, section 92.2 says, the election must take place at a joint sitting of parliament following the swearing in of members of the Senate and the National Assembly, and the election of the Speaker of the National Assembly and the President of Senate respectively after every general election or whenever necessary to fill a vacancy in the office of president. 3, to be elected president, the candidate must receive more than half of the valid votes cast by the members of parliament. 4, in the event that none of the presidential candidates receives a majority in the first ballot, a run-off ballot must be held between the candidates with the highest number of votes and the candidate receiving the majority in the runoff is declared elected as president. 5, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, look at the confusion here. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission shall preside over the election. So number 1, the election in the National Assembly is given to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. It is not only the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Also, look at this. So to preside, or it says the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission or a designated judge, and the procedure for the election shall be in accordance with the standing orders of Parliament. So it gives the powers to either the judge or the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So there is a confusion there. The constitution has to be straightforward. who is actually responsible for the process, so that two institutions do not find themselves in a head-on collision. If it is the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, it should be the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. If it's a judge, then who decides in this regard whether it's a judge or the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission? So there is a confusion also there. 6, a person elected as president under this section must cease to be a member of parliament upon assuming office if they were a member at the time of election. So how do they assume that he is a... So they are trying to copy the South African constitution, but obviously in the process of doing so, the South African constitution is clearly defined. It's better than what is written here. 7, in the case of a vacancy in the office of president due to death rather, in the case of a vacancy in the office of president due to death, resignation, removal, or incapacity, an election must be held at a joint sitting of parliament not more than 30 days after the vacancy occurs. So they wouldn't love anyone to act in this regard. So an election should be held not more than 30 days. So saying not more than 30 days, as soon as the president dies, the next person taking over as interim president has to be elected by the very same parliament. So in this regard, for example, if Mnangagwa were to die today, it would not be automatic for retired General Chiwenga to be the president of ZANU-PF. The highest bidder in ZANU-PF will automatically take over. Anyone within ZANU-PF who can convince the members of parliament to vote for him can actually be the president. So that is what it simply means. Even if Mnangagwa were to die today, if this is in force, it does not automatically qualify to be the president. The retired General Chiwenga does not automatically qualify as his deputy or Kembo Mohati. They have to undergo through a process, an electoral process done by either a judge or the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, which means they have to campaign to the members of the parliament. And you don't campaign to them empty-handed. You have to give them some money. I don't think they would need promises. They would need a guaranteed money. So it's quite a tricky one. 8, no amendment to any law or enactment introducing substantive policy changes shall be passed by Parliament during the period of a vacancy in the office of the President and the election of a new President by Parliament. No amendment to any law or enactment introducing substantive policy changes shall be passed by Parliament during the period the occurrence of a vacancy in the office of the President and the election of a new President in Parliament. Which means if you are elected because the President died, they are saying there is no, it's very confusing. There shouldn't be any amendment to any law or enactment introducing substantive policy. It's quite confused, this thing of Emerson Mnangagwa, but you can tell it is earmarked at actually thwarting shutting out retired General Chiwenga completely. Now, if you look at also the section that they want to amend dealing with the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, it is in an effort to try and thwart any possibility of a coup. And also it is disempowering the Zimbabwe Defense Forces from carrying out a coup. That is what essentially Emerson Mnangagwa is aiming at. and he sees that there is high probability a coup may be on the horizon, and he is trying to stop any chances of a coup succeeding because of a document. Will the military actually bow to a document written obviously and translated into law by Emerson Tambuso Mnangagwa, a man without the mandate from the masses, a man who was also brought through the back door to be the president? Is that going to be the order of the day? These are the mind-boggling questions that are at play at the moment. This new bill, as you see, it has a lot of mistakes, a lot of double standards within it. It will cause more confusion. Mnangagwa should just stop. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we